What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to another video, man. So look, check it out. Me and a couple of buddies of mine, we was talking about, who's the face of the league. You know what I'm saying? Of course, a lot of people, feel like Anthony Edwards is the face of the league. Some people feel like it's Jokic. Some people feel like it should have been Ja Morant. So we was having this conversation, and my point was this, dog. As much as I would love for Anthony Edwards to be the face of the NBA, I can't consider him the face of the NBA because it's a European league, dog. it is a European league. The NBA is not even the NBA anymore, bro. Like, it's not the NBA, ran by Americans and the American game. We've adopted our game to the overseas shit, dog. That's what this is. This is overseas basketball that we see people playing today. You know what I'm saying? That's what this shit is, bro. Now, the overseas game, I'm not gonna lie, dog. I love the second pass and third pass. They hitting the open man. They just don't play no fucking defense. You know what I'm saying? They don't play no defense. And everything is played on a perimeter. So I mean, I think this is more of a European style of play, a finesse game. You know what I'm saying? But you can tell that the NBA has shifted because of, if you look at the last couple NBA champions, if you look at, the last 6 MVPs, they've been from overseas, man. You know what I'm saying? Jokic, Embiid, Jokic twice, Giannis. And then you got Shea that just won it this year. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it's no longer an American ran league. The best players are now international players. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, to say that, Anthony Edwards is the face of the NBA now. You still have LeBron and you still have Steph, and I blame them. They gave way to this international ass shit, man. Steph came in, changed the game. You dig, which made everybody want to shoot threes. That softened the game up because now everybody playing, from outside in versus inside out. And I mean, is it more entertaining? You can argue that it is, but what made the game so exciting, dog, is having people slash to the rim, having people that, play more of a aggressive, dynamic type style, man. That's what made Michael Jordan famous. That's what made Vince Carter and all of them, Jason Richardson. That's what made those players so iconic and so loved, is the fact that, they got an opportunity to display their athleticism. But now, I'd be surprised when certain players dunk, because I'm like, damn, I ain't even know he can dunk, because all they do is shoot threes. You know what I'm saying? 30, 40 footers. So, I mean, the style of the game has changed, and I blame LeBron and Steph Curry for that. Now, is it a bad thing? I mean, it's to each his own, man. It's, your style. It's what you prefer. But the game is an international game, man. So the face of the league, you got to look at a Giannis. You got to look at a Joker, a Shea. Those are your MVPs. Those are your, most valuable players the last 6 seasons. It hasn't, the last time an American actually won an award was what, Steph Curry? And that was, damn near 6 years ago. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, the game has shifted. The game was already shifting, you know what I'm saying, when they took away the big men, and they, you had all of these stretch fours, and then now you got stretch fives. You know what I'm saying? The game became a positionless game. Maybe damn near 8-9 years ago, where it was really positionless. You know what I'm saying? You got everybody at every position is skilled. You know what I'm saying? They can handle the ball. They can score second level, third level. You know what I'm saying? And not can only play with their back to the basket or whatever, or preferred to play with their back to the basket. And it's not that the players in the past couldn't face up and handle the ball and score at different levels. I think that they were more willing to fit a particular style of play. You know what I'm saying? You don't have an Anthony Davis who's really adamant about not wanting to play a certain position. You know what I'm saying? You don't, them players they played, man. They came in and they played their positions. You know what I'm saying? So the league is different. But when you talk about the face, it's an international game, dog. So, as much as I would love for Anthony Edwards or Ja Morant, I think Ja Morant had a real chance, bro. He really did, but he couldn't stay out of trouble, man. And that's the other thing about the league. The league, and I would have to look at the stats, but the league seems to be younger and younger. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't seem to have that vet presence. People on that's a part of the organization that has a certain level of influence, you know what I'm saying, on the players. The times have changed, you know what I'm saying? Like, they probably not putting popcorn in the rookies' car no more and got the rookies carrying the bags and all of that. All of the things that you used to have to do to earn your keep. Things have changed, you know what I'm saying? People are more willing to get in your face, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, I ain't put no popcorn in my car, man. I ain't carrying nobody bag. The little things that used to prepare you, for the maturity of the game and being a part of the NBA, and why they wanted people to wear suits and why they wanted you to appear a certain way. At the time, I think people took that as, man, they trying to change who I am. You know what I'm saying? They don't want me to be myself. They're trying to whitewash me or whatever. But I get it now. It makes sense because, look, this is what happens. You have Ja Morant situations where, they don't have no maturity. You know what I'm saying? They're just not, they're very irresponsible with their stardom and with the resource that they are. You know what I'm saying? So, I understand now why, they wanted the players to conform and be a little bit more professional. It makes sense. But anyway, man, who y'all think the face of the league is, man? Do y'all feel like the NBA is more of an international game, now than it was ever in the past? Or do y'all feel like, the Americans still got it? You know what I'm saying? I feel like it's more of an international game. And I feel like if I had to say who's the face of the NBA, man, it's actually hard to say. I can't give y'all a particular one player. I still want to say Stephen Curry. But I guess you got to look at it, maybe it's Joker. I don't know. I don't know, man, because I don't think a lot of those guys are really marketable like that. I would pull towards Anthony Edwards or Ja Morant, but I just feel like they're not very marketable when it comes to how they carry themselves and conduct themselves. I can see Anthony Edwards, he's probably the closest out of him and Ja. You know what I'm saying? If I had to choose somebody that, particularly for me would be the face of the NBA. But I can't lie, dog. The international game got it on lock. I mean, they've been the MVP for the last 5-6 seasons, man. So I just feel like it's not fair for me to just sit up here and act like them people not killing it. But anyway, let me know what y'all think about this one, man. And what y'all thoughts are. I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.